love technology.
All right. Well, guys, tell us what we're here doing at Windrock this weekend. Other than watching sketchy lines in the trees.
We are here doing a riding clinic yesterday and today, a 2-day riding clinic. We got about 15 riders and just going through a bunch of different, everything from kind of like baseline technique stuff to more advanced like mental side of racing and kind of the things that I feel like that Dak and I can kind of talk about, relate to, and explain that maybe you would never hear somewhere else, like how we approach our race runs, the things we're thinking about, how we visualize a course and what our goals are when we drop in, a lot of that kind of stuff.
As far as like your goals with these types of clinics and coaching sessions, are we going to expect to see more of them? Are you guys going to have a site or a page that people can go see a schedule? Will it travel around or will it exclusively be here?
I think it started as just something fun that we wanted to do. I've done quite a few riding camps in the past, and he's done a couple as well recently. And so I was getting ready to schedule this one, and I'm like, man, it'd be a lot more fun if Dakotah came and did it with me. And I think people will be stoked because they get to kind of hear what both of us have as far as feedback goes, and we hang a lot anyways. We work really well together. We've been on same teams. We kind of look at tracks and riding in a very similar way. So it's, I feel like the two of us working together just would be a lot of fun. So I hit him up and I was like, yo, you want to be a part of this? And he said, yeah. And we sold it out like straight away. So now we're like, it'd be kind of fun to do a few more, but we might need to like get some more, I don't know, have to think about this a little bit because this could escalate.
Yeah, it's getting a little out of hand here. No, it's pretty cool. I think right now, we're going to maybe plan, maybe not in January when it's real cold, but I think maybe we're going to try to do maybe one a month at the moment, do a couple into the race season. I really like coaching. I get a lot of fulfillment out of helping people, whether it's working in the gym. I just, whether it's out here with race coaching, beginner coaching, I just find a smile on my face when I get out there and start telling people about my experiences. And with me and Aaron, we don't really have a big ego when it comes to like who's right or who's wrong, or there is no right and wrong. Everything is different for every rider. There's riders that are doers that need a lot of practice runs. There's riders that are thinkers that need to spend a lot of time thinking about the track. And there's people that just need to watch it get done, and then it's like, oh wow, I can really see that. So between all of us, we're able to kind of go back and forth and give a bit of a different outlook about the same thing that might appeal to a different rider. So it's been really fun to bounce back and forth off of each other and just work with a wide range of riders here and see everybody get a smile on their face when they either see it get done or they're able to execute it themselves. It's really fun to watch.
Awesome. Now we're obviously not going to give away all the secrets to the pudding here, but if you guys kind of like had a little synopsis of your bullet points that you scheduled out, like let's talk about A, B, C, D. What are those elements for a rider or racer that you cover in a course like this?
So we only have 2 days, so it's not a ton of time. So we're trying to, there's so much info we want to cover. And maybe we do more in the future, or do like different versions so you can get something different. But I think if we only have people for 2 days, we try to really, like I said, give them some things that maybe they're not going to hear somewhere else that are unique to us, but also give them a couple fundamental techniques that is kind of your baseline to do anything more advanced. I feel like if we can get a couple of breaking fundamental things down that Dakotah was really good at explaining yesterday, some cornering things, and not just kind of how to corner, but like why are you cornering that way? Like how does that relate to the track, from the parking lot to the track? Like what are we trying to accomplish here? How are we trying to build speed, safety, all those kinds of things? So we work on fundamentals at the beginning of day one, then we take those things to the trail and apply them for the day. And while we do that, we can kind of see where everybody's strengths and weaknesses are. We can kind of critique little technique things along the way if we see anything else. And then day two, once you kind of have some of those fundamentals in your head and we've got some practice, it goes more towards the racecraft side of things. And that's where things really come in. They're specialized. Like I said earlier, like how do you view a track? What's your goals when you're dropping in for a race run? Where is time really found and where is time really lost in a race run? How do you put that kind of race strategy together and put the pieces together when you're under pressure and you're tired and all those kinds of things. Like, you know, how do you really go about putting together like a winning race run, line selection, all the things that kind of come into taking time off the clock. That's kind of day 2. So that's kind of a summary of it.
And what's cool for me to see is not only how to take time off the clock, but how to do it in a low risk way, where the reward is time off the clock without having to ride anything gnarly or faster. Like, and that's something that I think a lot of people wouldn't have thought about like before coming to a class like this.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of people that I think were a little nervous. They're like, oh, it's a race camp with Aaron and Dakotah. Like, they're just going to take us to the gnarliest section and we're going to be like launching triples on the first day or something. And it's like, honestly, kind of the opposite of that. I think learning to do things in a really safe, controlled environment, learning proper technique, and when you really start to understand how racetracks break down, where time is made and lost, a lot of the time is not in the gnarly stuff. It's in the little details, understanding how to line a racetrack up and kind of where to put the effort in. And so I think what you'll find, as you said, is you find like I can go a lot faster, I can take a lot of time off the clock, and I've actually decreased my risk at the same time. So it's safer and faster. So
I think I've like spent the majority of the camp trying to talk people back from the cliff more than I have pushing them towards it. You know, I want execution on safe lines that you can do 5 out of 5 times. Like, you know, you pay a lot of money to go to these races and you want to have more wins than you have losses, right? So we want to get people to have lines that build upon themselves and that they feel good about and they can execute in the race run. So it's like, I think it's almost hard for me to, you know, not feel like I'm not pushing people forward, because a lot of the time I'm like, hey, I know you want to ride this gnarly line, but let's move over here and you could probably go just as fast on this one and take way less risk and actually feel good about doing it. So with a race camp with us, you would think it's like, hey, how are we going to send it through this rock garden? But it's, you know, quite the opposite. It's been really cool to have people have this realization about, you know, risk and reward and what actually will make them feel really good about their race runs. So it's been really exciting to see how people react to that.
Yeah, I think we've said go faster 0 times, and I've definitely said slow down a lot of times.
That's for sure. As from a like reward standpoint, you know, for you guys, or like a standout takeaway, like when you know, finish up one of these courses, or even like a moment, right, a corner or a line, a rock garden, like what is like the most surprising or rewarding thing that you get from the campers?
I guess the rewarding thing is seeing people's reactions when they get it right. And, you know, the things that we're pushing are not things that take weeks and months to perfect. Like, we can get people to perfect a section based on the way we're teaching it really quickly. Like in 2 or 3 tries, they can get it right and get that feeling. And when you feel that feeling of like that speed leaving a section and how easy it feels sometimes to go fast, it's really rewarding to watch people like have that light bulb moment of like, whoa, like that felt really good. And most of the time it's not doing the gnarliest thing, the gnarliest option.
Yep, I would agree. I think I was fortunate throughout kind of my whole life, from BMX to moto to now mountain bikes. Like, I had some coaches and people that really helped me, especially in the motocross days, and they taught me certain things that have stuck till today. I'm teaching similar techniques but on the downhill bike now, and I mean, they were like kind of life-changing as far as like the fun I can have on the bike, the speed I can carry, the results and success I've had. They've just made my entire, like, I like riding bikes more than like anything else, and so it's made that better and more successful. And so when you kind of can give somebody a little technique, or like, hey, look at a corner like this, not like this, and you see it kind of click, and it's like, oh, it's like, you know, you can see the smile on their face when they get it right, and you know, like, forever their riding has been changed. Like, every time they're gonna ride, they're gonna look at this trail a little different than they would have in the past, and they're going to open things up and do things they wouldn't have done, and it's going to make their experience better. They're going to be safer, they're going to be faster, all those things. And I remember for me coming up, when I figured something out and it finally clicked, it was like dude, it was the best thing ever. So when you're able to do that a little bit, whether it's bike setup or, you know, some of these things we're talking about this weekend, it's like, it's definitely rewarding, because it's, I mean, I was these guys trying to learn, these young kids not too long ago, and Dakotah was the same way. So it's pretty cool for sure.
For me, the biggest fulfilling feeling of riding is when it feels effortless, when you can be riding so fast and doing everything right, and it feels like you're barely trying, but you're absolutely ripping. And when people start to feel that feeling, start to, you know, experience that in general, it's just really cool to see. And it's like the same feeling I feel when I'm doing a World Cup race run and everything's going right and I'm catching green lights, to share that and have them experience that is, it's really, really nice and rewarding for me. And it's just like such a good feeling to like see it in someone else.
Right on. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you letting me come hang out and learn a few things.
Yeah, dude. Stoked
Easy.
you could come.
All right. See you at the next one.